how this can work. This was me in a former life. So I was an actor, and I moved out here, and I wanted to join the Shakespeare Festival in the East Bay, because it was the only theater really hiring in the summer. So I had to do this for myself in one sense. Personal strength I had, I was a character actor. It's easier to get hired if you're a character actor than to be the leading man or leading lady. There's just one of those in the play. There might be more character actors. I had studied dance and had great physical skills, so I knew that would be a strength. A weakness I brought with me is that I'd been a mime and an dancer. I didn't talk, and I wanted to do Shakespeare. I knew nothing about Shakespeare. I didn't know how to talk. I didn't know any of that stuff, so that was a weakness. Externally, there was a big turnover in the company, so there was opportunity, and I'll talk more about this in a second. I found out there were 5 auditors, 5 people on essentially the interviewing panel who were going to make the final decision. A weakness was I was eligible to join Actors Equity, which is the union. If I had done that, it would have cut my chances down almost zero as a new actor coming in. They generally save those jobs for the leading man, leading lady person they wanted to hire, and prefer a journeyman for the other stuff. And the other thread out there is that they usually get between 1,600 and 1,800 resumes of people who are interested in joining, out of which they're going to hire about 4 new men, 4 new women a year. So the odds of getting hired aren't that great. So this was my sort of analysis of where I was. So some of this stuff I could address. If I didn't know anything about Shakespeare, I hired a coach to help me. Help me talk like I need to talk. Help me do what I not one. If you're in the tech world, and you'll know much more than I do about what's going on that I need to know to stay current, and how am I going to do that? How am I going to address that? If you're in the accounting world, what new things do you need to know about accounting practices? If I was in that world, I would certainly be looking at what are the implications of the IRS, what's it's facing with the ruling about same-sex marriage. Because tens of thousands of people are now going to be redoing their taxes. And it's a great opportunity if you're a CPA. If you don't have that expertise and you're a CPA, I'd be going, all right, that's a chance for me to do that. And then strengths, again, I needed to build out my list of what are some of the qualities I have as I'm doing more research about Shakespeare that I know I can fit into. One of the things is I have a big voice, so I knew I could work on an outdoor stage in the East Bay, whereas many actors just can't. They're screaming and shouting. Everybody to just write down one thing in each of those areas, each of those 4 areas. Oh, I just lied. I'd like you to do first in the strength. I want one sort of skill or attribute you have, and then one personal quality that you think is a strength or other people have told you is a strength, some personal quality. Pardon?
You said one thing and you said something.
Oh, I said some stuff, so like I might be really good with programming, and then the second one, and I'm a good listener.
Great.
So something that's personal, something about your skill set. For those of you that are interested in the nonprofit world, it sounds like there's a number of them in this group, I'm going to give you a freebie. A current threat is lack of money.
What field you're talking about?
Nonprofit.
Oh, okay.
If you're in the nonprofit world, lack of money is a threat. How to turn that into an opportunity is increasingly nonprofits are looking for ways to generate revenue other than through donations, but having a for-profit business, having a product that they can sell. I did some consulting with a group in Marin that does community gardening stuff, and they're struggling. So we just talked about ways that they could either teach gardening and have classes, they could grow and sell specialty greens, microgreens for restaurants. So they're exploring rather than just asking people for money, because unfortunately community gardens don't have as much of the emotional pull as, say, in the Marin, Guide Dogs for the Blind is there. And everybody loves Guide Dogs for the Blind. They raise bazillions of dollars every year, but community gardens not so much, so they have to find that. So how to turn that into an opportunity, if you're in nonprofits, is if you have an area that you want to work in, think of ways that you could work with that nonprofit on how they could raise money. Yes, sir.
Well, the foundation center class as well, and we learned the other day that when the whole kind of boom happened, when everything went down, that the nonprofit stayed steady with growth increase, job
Mhm.
growth, while the profit sector dropped in hiring. So I think it's an opportunity to continue to grow in hiring.
In the nonprofit, yeah. So that's good information. Opportunity because they're looking for people. Another thing, if you're say looking at the world out there, is a threat can be whatever you want to make might not be what you think whatever you make might not be what you think you're worth. But sometimes it's better to get in and have a longer term plan and how I might be able to increase my marketability to do that. Okay, do we have something in all of them?
Yeah.
Good. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got something all, just
I'm
to
sorry?
say it. I was just saying, just raise my hand, yes.
Oh, okay, you do have something in there, okay. I see a couple blank spaces, Yvonne. That's all right, I don't have to rush it. This is something I think you want to keep building on, because if you keep building on this, when you start tailoring your resume for jobs, you're going to see under the qualities and attributes list on the job descriptions, often it's like, we want an energetic team player. You need to translate that. What does that mean for you? It's very different.